So these, we wanted to let people know that Muslims are also contributing to the social fabric of America. So then the second section of the book deals with how to distinguish Islam, the religion that Muslims practice.
That's very important.
That's very important from what the extremists are doing and how they're exploiting Islam. And just like Jeff Sessions just exploited, a verse out of the Bible and said the Bible told me this, and he was taken out of context, and there was so much pushback in the Christian community. Similarly, we're also showing the general public now how Muslims are pushing back at these extremists' exploitation of our text. And then the third section of the book goes directly into how to prevent and how to insulate community from harm. And it has a beautiful section on parenting.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
yes,
and a section on how to create resilient communities, how to intervene if somebody's having a problem, how to understand the vulnerabilities.
So it's like a manual. It's a manual for anybody to reference to and, find out anything related to Islam, Muslims. And can they connect?
Also more than that. It's more than just for Muslims, because now you have the same issues permeating in other communities. So you have a lot of vulnerable people that are being recruited into gangs, into white supremacy, and a lot of them are innocent, ignorant, going online, falling into the trap. And so we want people to understand this tool can also be used by other communities.
Exactly.
I mean, I have already had teachers tell me, oh my God, I want to use this bullying section and how to be a good bystander, or how to not counter hate in my classes.
Actually,
I want to teach that in
that's
my
a
class.
very good point. I want you to, I will like to stress on it that it is a tool for everyone. How can we get hold of this book or manual if people want to
order it?
Yeah.
So it can be ordered online at www.wiseupreport.org.
Okay.
And you just place an order, and it's $30, and it'll be shipped to you right away.
Okay. And is there any other place? Are these going to be in libraries? What other projects are you doing with that? I think you...
So Wise Up book, when it came out, is now being turned into a campaign. And the campaign means we go out there into different communities. We do town hall dialogue. So if anybody wants to invite us to do a town hall dialogue around the content of the book, we're happy to go into any communities. We are doing a congressional briefing on July 17th.
Okay.
And going in front of members of Congress, giving every member of Congress his copy.
Wonderful.
Or her copy. And we are sitting down with them and showing them how, the rhetoric that politicians use affects communities directly. The negative rhetoric against communities, increases hate crimes, discrimination, and bullying, and all kinds of things that we have seen an increase. And most importantly, it creates a divide between communities and polarization within our community. So we don't want politicians to securitize our communities, because we are law-abiding citizens of this country. And so we want them to treat us equally.
Yep. So that's a very significant move to be able to put in place that you are going to do on 17th of July.
And then we're going to do trainings in the future.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
how can we
targeted
train?
Trainings.
Yes.
Targeted trainings for communities, for teachers, but also trainings for attorney generals, people that are at the front lines who are confronted by these issues. We want to train them and equip them. So far, we've been doing mostly town hall dialogues, getting out into communities, meeting people, and we're getting a lot of feedback from that.
Okay.
For us, it's a pilot to see what is the need.
Okay.
And so this is what the people are coming back to us and saying, we need lesson plans, we need training materials, we need curriculum. So the demand is huge, and we are a small organization. We can only take on so much. So our plan is to now seriously look at creating training materials for targeted groups of people. So for instance, we had one gentleman who was in the armed forces, served overseas, came back, saw this, and said, wow, this is amazing. I just wish we could use this for cultural competency before people go overseas. Because they are ignorant of the culture, they're ignorant of the religion, they make mistakes, they're at the front lines. So he suggested that we make a cargo pant version, a small, tiny version. So when people are deployed and they're on the streets and they're interacting with people, they should know they should be more effective by having more knowledge and having information. So that's something that we're doing, but it only came from when we met with a person and they recommended that.
That's wonderful. So you